Guys, welcome back to another tutorial session. Today we'll be making this cute 3D knit skirt, and if you have been following me for a while, you will know I already have a tutorial on how to make this same design using the bulky border knitting machine. So I'll be making use of this lovely yarn by Papatia. I love the color mix and I'm sure it's going to look good with this design. Then you also need your accessories that comes with your knitting machine. So this skirt fits all sizes, only that you adjust the waistline when you get to that point. For any size you're making, you're starting using the same process. So make sure your Sentro is placed on a firm table and your yarn on the floor. We have 48 hooks on this Sentro knitting machine, and there's also white hook on this machine. So we have to crank our knitting machine. Cranking means moving the handle of your machine. Crank it till you get to that white hook. You can see the white hook here. This white hook represents number 48. The next hook to it is number 1, then number 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. So we'll be starting from number 1, and then switch your mode to panel because we'll be knitting in panel. We have P and we have T here. P represents the panel knitting mode, while T represents the tube knitting mode. Panel knitting mode is when you are knitting in rows, while tube knitting is when you are knitting in rounds. For example, you are making a beanie. But for this tutorial, you'll be working using the panel knitting mode. And do not worry about the row counter here because it does not work for the panel knitting mode. You can only make use of this row counter if you're working in tube knitting mode. You place your yarn onto the first hook like so. Then crank your knitting machine till that hook goes down. That means it's holding your yarn in place. So release your tail yarn and pass it onto the back of the next yarn, then to the front of the next yarn. Keep cranking by passing it to the front and to the back hooks on the knitting machine. So do this slowly till you get the hang of this. So I'll be working with 36 hooks. All the hooks on your Sentro are numbered, so check till you get to number 36. So this is where 36 stops. So I'll continue cranking till I get to 36. I'm going to move a step forward and stop at 37 right here. Make sure your working yarn gets to the next hook. Okay, it gets to the next hook and also to the end of this grid here. You see that it will fall under this grid right now. So once it falls to that grid, you go back. That's the point where you go back, and then you continue cranking your Sentro till you get to the starting point again. Repeat the same thing for the other side. Watch out for this part, for this grid. You know, this is where it stops. So once it falls to the end here, you can see now that it's moving to the end, to the under. So once it falls underneath, that's the time where you go back. So That's the starting of another row. So that's how you keep working till you get to your desired length. Just work at a slow pace and watch out for this. Okay, so move slowly till you get a hang of this. All right. Also keep in mind that you'll be the one counting the number of rows you're working on, since the row counter does not work for the panel mode. So when you have like an inch or 2 inches of your project done, you can now add your clip. You don't necessarily have to add this clip, but it makes your work easier. And to avoid stitches dropping, another thing you should note when working on this Sentro is look out for dropped stitches. If you see a stitch that is about to drop, quickly amend that stitch. Take the yarn or the stitch back onto the hook to avoid dropping your stitches. And also don't work to the extreme. Don't crank your Sentro to the extreme that by the time you go back you'll be having a lot of dropped stitches, or you'll be having additional stitches on your crochet hook. It will move from maybe 36 to maybe 38, and then you find that by the time you keep walking around you would have added more stitches to your project. And once you perfect this skill, you are good to go on the Sentro. And then also look out for the yarn on the floor so that it does not get tangled. You can see right here, if you see that this is getting too hard to pull, just watch out for your hook. You see that this is not rightly placed, take it down and keep knitting your project. So I'm going to show you how to extend your clip now once you have a long panel.
So guys, this is what I have so far, and I'm going to measure it. This is 60. Start from there again. And measure the remaining. I have 120 inches, and this is where I'll be stopping. I'll remove the clips on your project, and it's time to cast off. To do that, cut off this yarn and then use another color, preferably. I'll be using this scrap yarn, white color. Join the new color cut off the excess yarn, then place it back into the yarn guide and knit 10 rows. The this is the first row. The second. Continue till you have 10. Now cut off your yarn and remove your projects from your Sentro knitting machine. So crank your knitting machine to the left side, and then return it back, crank it again to the right side to remove your project from. That's why it's good to make more than 6 rows so that the stitches won't lose up to the point of your main color. Set your Sentro aside, then slip knots. Turn to the back. You'll be working on the last line of the main project. This is the first stitch here. So insert your crochet hook and pass your loop into the first stitch right here. Move to the next stitch and work single crochet. Move to the next and work single crochet. So yarn over, pull through 1 to make it 2 loops on your crochet hook, yarn over again to make it 3, and you reduce from 3 loops to 1 by passing through the 2 loops. So keep repeating the same thing till you get to the end of your project. So I'm at the end of the row. I'm going to pick the last stitch here and work my last single crochet, chain 1, and then cut off your yarn. Lose all the white yarn. This is what it looks like. This is what you should have. So this is the first panel and this is the second panel. I'm making a very short skirt, a mini skirt, for the purpose of this video, but if you want to make yours longer, you can use 46 for the longer layer and 26 to 28 for the shorter layer. The next thing to do now is to add our boning. This is what the boning looks like. It's usually used for corsets, so you can get this where they sell tailoring materials. Place your boning on your knitwear and then you cover your boning with your project and you sew. Make sure you are sewing it directly on the boning.
So this is what it looks like after adding the boning to the knit panel. The next thing to do now is to gather all the upper parts with single crochet. So slip knot and pass your hook into the knot. So single crochet without completing it, then move on to the next stitch. Pull out a loop to make it 3 loops on your crochet hook, yarn over to make it 4 loops, and you reduce from 4 loops, from 4 to 1. So let's do that again. single crochet without completing it, move to the next 2 stitches if possible, yarn over till you have 4 loops on your crochet hook, and then you reduce from 4 to 1. So continue the same way. So the more stitches you skip, the quicker you gather your stitches together. So you can skip 2 stitches or 1 stitch depending on you. So I just do it randomly. This way you are eliminating a lot of stitches. And what we are doing now is called 2 together single crochet. So continue to work this method, 2 together single crochet for all the upper parts of this skirt layer. So guys, I later changed to 2.5 mm hook. I realized my stitches were too big.
So guys, I'm done with both layers. Place the shorter layer on top of the longer one, like so. Then we'll be working half double crochets into the 2 stitches. So slip knot, insert your crochet hook into the single crochet of the first and also the second layer, and pass it through the single crochet stitches. So in the same space we'll be working half double crochet. So we have 4 loops on the crochet hook. We'll be reducing from 4 loops to 1 loop. Yarn over again and work half double crochets into the single crochet stitches. Make sure you're both placing the layers together. Make sure you're placing both the layers together and work half double crochets into the single crochet stitches. So continue to do this for all the stitches till you get to the end of the row. This is what it looks like. So guys, I'm about to end my row. So I'm done with my half double crochet stitches. So I'm going to proceed to the band now. I'll show you how to make the band and then we'll join the band to the waistline. So I'll be using this shade of green to cast on the Sentro, and I'll be casting on 10 hooks. So I'm using double strands because I want my band to be thick. Then just continue cranking till you get to the measurement of your band. Just measure your waistline and then use it. So guys, I didn't record where I joined the band. I thought I was recording, but I didn't record it. So after making your band, just cast off and then you join onto your skirt with single crochet. You can use a needle as well, needle and thread. Then you join it onto your skirt. So I'll be folding it in the opposite direction, sewing it with needle and thread. The sides that are open, I'll close it up with my sewing machine. So I'm just going to sew it straight up like that and then make my adjustable rope and pass it onto my skirt. So I added these beautiful accessories to make it more beautiful, but you can leave it as it is. You don't need to add any other accessories. Just weave in your ends to make your skirt neat and trim off excess yarns and you are good to go. So guys, we've come to the end of this tutorial. I believe you've learned one or two things so far. So if you like this tutorial, please give a thumbs up. If you have any questions at all, please drop them in the comment section and I'll definitely answer all your questions. If you're a new subscriber, please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more tutorials like this, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.